How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. And no, you're not seeing the same video again. This is a different video. The packaging looks very similar to the Australian one we did of a Skyhawk just recently. This is very different. Well, you can see the roundel. It's got the little kiwi bird on there. This is a Douglas A-4G Skyhawk here from the Royal New Zealand Air Force in 1984, as it says right there. Now, this aircraft first served in Vietnam with VA-155 in 1968, but it was sold to the Royal Australian Navy in 1971. It would operate there until 1983 and then was sold once more to the Royal New Zealand Air Force in 1984, which our model obviously is from. Now, this aircraft would be in New Zealand service until its retirement in 2001 and is now on display at the Omaka Aviation Heritage Centre, but in a different livery than we have here. And, well, speaking of liveries, we better see. It's just got that slip cover over the generic Hobbymaster Skyhawk packaging, as you can see there. We'll move that out of the way. We'll open this up. I actually picked this up for $100 secondhand on eBay, despite the $180-something price tag on the front there, but it does look fantastic in there. It's got some instructions, a little bit of info in the flap, but that is no good in the box as per usual. So we'll get this out and get our hands on it and check out this New Zealand Skyhawk. Alright, it does come with the usual stand that these Hobbymaster ones come with, and the Model Monkey quickly assembled that for us, and that's what they do look like. It does come with the landing gear in a separate baggie. These feel to be all metal, so you can put a little bit of pressure on these. It also does have the baggie that contains all the tanks, the ordnance. It's got some sidewinders, looks to be some Mavericks there, and a centerline. Well, that centerline fuel tank looks a really weird colour compared to those tanks. Looks like a Vietnam era. I think the one on the Australian one was white. Anyway, we'll get that out of the way. We'll have a look when we open it. We'll get to the aircraft and have a quick squiz at that before we start putting some things on it. All right, let's pop that out. Beautiful. These come out really nicely. It's got a reasonable weight to it. Nice and cold. The details on this, very nice. Well, very similar to the Australian one, like even with the pattern of the camo there. So we'll zoom in and have a little look at those details quickly. You can see the New Zealand, the roundel there with the little kiwi bird on there. The Australian one obviously has the kangaroo. That does look very nice. I reckon these little Skyhawks look pretty good. Hobbymaster does a really nice job with them. You can see some really nice gun details there. Beautiful. I think these just open up, I'm pretty sure. Yep. It's a little bit stiff, but what do you expect from a brand new model? It's still sealed. That does look pretty cool. It's got some, we can just see some detail in there. Nice. We'll close that back down. Yep, beautiful. Have a little look underneath. So the usual setup. And this camo looks really close to the Australian one, that's for sure. Oh, very, very nice. And yeah, all right, what we'll do though is we'll set this up. What do you reckon? Let's go kit this out and come right back. All right, we are back with this setup for Inflight. Straightforward process. You put your tanks on, very easy. The 3 pieces for your landing gear. I can confirm this is exactly the same as the Australian one that I did earlier, because those Inflight gear bay doors are from my Australian Skyhawk. The camo matches perfectly. So yeah, that is, I don't know, just something to let you know about. You put your sidewinders on. There are a pair of Mavericks that you put on. Now, the pins for each of these sidewinders are slightly different, so they can only be allocated into each of their positions there. I'll show you on the Maverick missiles the difference in the length. Another thing is these don't go in properly like the Inflight covers, because as you can see, that should be just a pin, and it's got these flap bits hanging off it, which you've really pretty much got to cut off, I suppose, because there's only a hole in there to go in. Those little tab parts that need to be cut off, so you've just got that round section to go in, and then it'll sit flush. So unfortunately, it doesn't sit flush. I didn't really notice sort of that on the previous one we did. I just really noticed it right now because it was really hard to get in. That's probably why. The other one seemed to go in okay. Now, of course, to put it in flight, you do need to take that tank off. As you can see, that tank is really different in color-wise compared to everything else. It looks like a, you know, Southeast Asian camo scheme. Now, obviously, to put it on the stand, you just whack it in the stand hole, and that is your Skyhawk set up for in-flight, ready to go. And it does look fantastic. These do present really nicely. And this is what I mean with the pins for the missiles. As you can see, there's a slight difference in length between the two ways, so you can only put them in one spot. So what we'll do though is we've got you in-flight people out of the way. We will chuck this in gear down and check it out gear down, of course. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, before we do anything, we will weigh this fully kitted out Skyhawk and see what it does weigh. That is 215 grams. All right, sweet. All right, so that's the hole that you need to insert that other piece into. That's why it doesn't go flush, because it's just a hole. You got to trim those edges. I just thought I'd quickly show you that. Oh, let's just do a little bit of assembly. Hopefully it won't be too difficult to do. That's nice and easy on there. And of course, with your main landing gear, I don't know, I can't remember if I showed you previously, but you just got to put this piece in first, and then you can put your main wheel on top of that, and that's what keeps that in place. And of course, you just put your little door in there, and then you can whack your tank back on, of course. Yep. And that is job done for gear down, of course. And well, you got to put that centerline tank in. It has been really hard to put this one in, so it won't sit in there quite right. It needs to be trimmed down a little bit. As I say, I like to do these straight from the box, so this one is really hard to put in its place. It's even with the color, it's almost like it's not supposed to be there, but it is. And of course, with the Mavericks, you just put those in there, and you can happy days. And that is all set up for in-flight. And of course, you can open up your canopy if you want that opened up, so you can see all that pretty cool detail. And I reckon overall, if I can get my fat hands out of the way so you can actually see it, I think this does present really nicely for another pretty cool looking Skyhawk. And if you don't have the Aussie one, so we'll put it on the deck. I'll show you. So that is the New Zealand one, obviously. And this is the Australian one right here. And they look pretty goddamn similar, don't they? Right down like that camo pattern. It's pretty much identical. So, yeah, just thought I'd show you that as well. But I reckon that both of these are pretty cool, so I like them. They do present really nicely, and if you like Skyhawks, and depending if you're from the land of the long white cloud or if you're from Australia, you will choose which one you prefer. And I do prefer, well, obviously the Australian one, but I like them both equally, actually. I'll move the Aussie one out of the way. He's had his time, and we'll concentrate on this beautiful one from the Royal New Zealand Air Force, and I think it is, yeah, cool. All right, we'll zoom in a fraction for you, and we'll start winding up the video. All right, and of course, if you did like this video or found it helpful in some sort of way, don't forget some of those my way. Always feel free to subscribe to the channel as well. All right, I appreciate everyone that drops past to check out the video. I hope you enjoyed what hit your eyeballs today and found the video helpful in some sort of way. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I'll finish up by saying thank you very much for dropping past, and you all have an awesome rest of your day. Cheers, everyone.